61 days until I cut my family out of my life. I am not a Reddit regular and have no idea how to write posts, so bear with me. This also turned out a little longer than I expected, and my writing is not that great, so sorry. I am the blushing bride-to-be, 40F, getting married in October. A year ago, I invited my family before I sent out invites because they live 2 hours away, and I wanted to make sure they had plenty of notice since the wedding will be on a Tuesday. This was because we celebrate a yearly anniversary of our first date, and we wanted to get married on that anniversary since it's special to us. I know people have to book time off work, and I know they are not flush, so I offered to pay for their hotel room, travel, and dog boarding. Wedding is in a hotel, so they would not have to worry about getting home late, and they could enjoy the evening with us. Plus, they would have a nice breakfast and get home without stress the next day. 9 months to go. The invites go out, and my auntie, uncle, and step-grandpa can't make it for personal reasons. I call my mom, dad, and brother, and they all tell me that they can only get the 1 day off, so they will have to go home on the same day. They also said they would ideally like to be home before 8 p.m. The wedding starts at 1 p.m. My mom then asks me, instead of paying for our hotel room, travel, and dog, could you just book us a car and a driver for the day to take us there and back home? Dad cannot drive due to health reasons. Mom, brother, and his wife never learned to drive. I told them, I am not paying for that. I explained that I only offered to pay for the hotel and travel so that they could stay for the reception since they would be far from home, plus I also get a discount on rooms. I also said how cheeky of an ask it was to expect me to pay a small fortune to chauffeur the majority of my family to, and from wedding only for them to leave shortly after I feed them. My mom gave it the old, oh my bad, guess I'm the worst song and dance. I call my sister and ask her to be my bridesmaid. She's excited and wants to hear about all the planning and wants to look at dresses online with me. She also lives 2 hours away. I told her about our family, and she tells me that she's basically gotten radio silence after she told them she was pregnant for the first time. She was about 8 months around this time. So we share our childhood traumas, that's a whole different story, and get excited about her baby and my wedding together. 6 months to go. My sister gives birth and I travel up to meet my third nephew. My brother has the first two, who are both under 3 years old. I pop a quick visit to my parents since they are on the way home to basically pick up the RSVPs that I never got back. I asked them about their plans for the day. Mom, we are getting a family ticket on the train and Dad's mate can look after the dog. I explained that tickets can be quite expensive and they should get them sooner rather than later as the prices sometimes go up. They started to worry about train strikes, but I said that I've been checking the strike website and they will be fine. My mom then said the most wildest thing. Mom, I am so pissed that you are getting married this year and your sister has had a baby. I wanted to decorate the living room. For a moment I had no words. Only a look on my face that could only be described as lifetime meme worthy. Me, UHH, well, you complained about weddings and grandkids for years, and now you are getting them and you're annoyed? Mom, well, you and your sister left it pretty late. We already went to your brother's wedding and look after his kids. My partner and I look at each other, and he covertly comforts me. I shrug off what my mom is saying, and she starts asking me why I needed their diet needs. I tell them that I'm feeding them, of course, and tell them briefly what's available, and that my partner and I need to select and choose from the menu. My mom then starts telling me that she doesn't like any of the food choices, and if she can have the kids' menu. At this point I am exhausted and just say fine. Whatever. She then asks, what gifts are you getting the mothers since that's tradition? While never even asking me what I would like for a wedding gift. On the drive home I am crying and my partner parks the car to console me, and I basically have a meltdown. He's a quiet, reserved and gentle guy, and does his best to cheer me up and took me for McDonald's where I called my sister and we laugh at how absurd our family is. She is angry that our family are just slagging off the wedding date, /locations, /food, /traveling. Basically anything, and calling me a bridezilla. 3 months to go. My partner recently found out his mother's cancer is terminal, so comforting him and his family is taking priority over wedding plans. I find myself planning most of the event by myself recently while I give my partner air to breathe and time to help his family. Meanwhile, my mother has started showing me pictures of white dresses and asking me if I think she would look cute wearing them. I am pretty sure I can feel my hair falling out and wondering if I could get a discount on a hairstylist. I tell her that my dress is ivory. She has not asked me about the theme or my dress or anything. I tell her that I am not wearing white because I work nights and I am too pale to wear white since my skin is basically reflective and fake tan is just not my thing. She laments and then starts looking at black dresses. I tell her to stop being childish, and then eventually she buys an ivory dress with a black floral print. She asks me if she will be able to grab a slice of wedding cake before they all leave. I tell her that we are not cutting the cake until the reception, but they won't be at the reception since they have to leave at 5:30 p.m. because they, for some reason, have to get home before 8 p.m. We start the reception late, and my guess at this point, since we have the ceremony at 1 p.m., the photos and confetti for about an hour, then the family meal will start about 3 p.m. and after speeches, and the feasting I am guessing that will push us to 5 p.m. Not to mention herding family and friends from room to room and random setting up in between. Well, she got pissed that I wouldn't let her grab some cake before we cut it. But I'm not forcing them to leave or stay. It's a simple situation which they have a choice. If you stay for the reception, you get cake. If you leave before the reception, you won't get cake. I ask my dad if he can send me his measurements so I can get him a suit to match since he's walking me down the aisle. He gets annoyed that he can't just wear what he wore to my brother's wedding. I explain that our wedding looks different, and I want him to match the wedding party, and I remind him that I am paying for it. He then tells me he refuses to give a speech as he has no idea what to say about me and hates getting up in front of a crowd. At this point, I have no more fight in the tank, and somehow ended up also offering to pay for their Uber from the train station to the venue and just wrapped up the call. I then call my brother to find his family's diet needs because again no RSVP was sent. He tells me that they have no issues, but goes on to tell me how fussy his kids are. Tells me I need to provide a high chair, otherwise they will scream and throw food, and they will probably run around during the ceremony. I ask him if they could sit outside with their mom for the ceremony, but apparently they are too much to handle for just her. I'm not sure how to handle this without pissing him off as well. 61 days to go. I am mentally and financially exhausted. I am dreading my wedding day and how my family are going to behave. Worrying they might show up late and blame the trains. I am worrying the nephews will ruin Run Wild and my brother and SIL just letting them. I am worrying about them complaining about needing to go for a smoke every 20 minutes. I am dreading the moment where they all just get up and abandon me to go home early. They are calling me a bridezilla because I'm being too fussy and not letting them have cake. I am so thankful for my sister who, even though has a newborn, is staying the night and asking me about bridal stuff and trying to keep me excited. I feel like I am unable to do girly bridal things. I'm not trying on wedding dresses in a shop and saying yes to a dress. I'm not having a Hindu bachelorette party. I don't even have any idea how to book and plan hair or makeup. I am probably having a video call / screen share evening with my sister to look for her bridesmaid dress. The rest of my family are not red flags. They are a black hole. I am so beyond done with them. For decades I have made a fuss and spoiled them for their birthdays, Christmas, and other events. I always travel to see them and I always have to call them. They never call me on my birthday. I always have to call them, and sometimes I get a FB message if I am lucky. Am I selfish, awful person for wanting a birthday card sent to me? They have never come to visit me since I moved out at 17. I always have to make the trips, the calls, the effort. Constantly reaching out, desperate to have family connection, but they just don't care and always make me feel like I'm the problem. So after my wedding, I want nothing to do with them anymore. I am sick of them. All I need is my sister and my new in-laws who are so nice, so normal. I am looking forward to my life the day after my wedding with my new loving family.